Peace and blessings, everybody. This is BroYosef back with another video. And in this video here, we're going to talk about Incubus and Succubus. For all of you who don't know about what Incubus and Succubus are, we're going to talk about that in this video, and we're going to explain that. I get in a lot of my consultations, people will tell me things that they're dealing with, and I know exactly what it is. It's the Incubus and the Succubus. So, what I want you guys to take away from my channel as we move forward here in the future with my channel, depending on how it goes, I want you guys to be able to come to my channel and get all the information you need as far as spirituality is concerned. Okay. I want you guys to go to BroYosef channel, and, every question you have can be answered. Right. And a lot of people ask me a lot of questions now that I've already explained in videos. So sometimes before a person asks me a question, find a video on my channel that relates to that question that you're going to ask me. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that you will be able to find the answer that you need. And if you don't, just come to BroYosef. I'll answer questions. I answer short questions through email or text or, Instagram or anything like that. I'll answer short messages, but longer messages, that's going to require consultation, because I don't have a lot of time to just sit there and just type, especially with a lot of people contacting me all at one time. So if you guys would like a consultation from BroYosef, just hit me up, we can go from there. Hit me up on Gmail. Hit me up on nulyfetools@gmail.com. The link will be in the description below if you guys want a consultation. And speaking of consultations, I get a lot of requests for consultations, and I don't always get back to people for consultations because, it's not about money to me. It's about helping people. And being that I'm a one-man army, some of y'all have asked me for consultations like 2 months ago, and I have not gotten back to you. I just ask y'all to be patient with me, and understand that I don't have a lot of time to do consultations all the time. For those of you who have gotten consultations from me, y'all know what it is. Y'all, all your questions were answered. A lot of you guys walked away with a lot of tools that helped you succeed and move forward. And that's what my consultation consists of. I can give you guys tools that can help you, information that can help you. It's all about what you require, So to move forward with the video, I'm going to be reading a little bit. I'm not going to read a lot, just a little bit from a book that I want all you guys to get, okay? The book is called The Secret Teaching of All the Ages, right? A lot of you guys asked me to put up more books. This is one of the first books I was studying by Manly P. Hall, right? He has a lot of good books, but this is a very good book. You guys want to know a lot of magical secrets? This is a good book to have. The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Very good book, right? I got this book back in like 2009 or something like that, 2010, 2011, something like that. I think it was 2009 or 10, and I've read all through this book. I've read the whole book. It took me a year and a half to read the book because I'm always reading through so many different books. But as you can see, the book is really thick. It's bended pages. I done been through it. It's got highlighted stuff in here. I done been through this whole book, and it's a very good book. Explains a lot of things, tells a lot of truth in this book. Even gives you some magical practices that you can do. This book led me in the right way of learning how to send energy back to the first dimension, right? I learned how to deal with energy a lot in this book. And, I got into a fight with an incubus. Look, it even got a whole thing on a Baphomet in here. Right, for all y'all who deal with the Baphomet, got a whole thing on the Baphomet. And for you that have been studying, for all you guys that have been studying metaphysics for a long time, pretty sure you've seen this book. Nothing special to some of you guys, but for the babies and for the ones that are starting out, this is a book you must have in your library, okay? Teach you how to call spirits, how to send spirits away, how to keep spirits away. Teaches you how to deal with the elementals. Teaches you how to deal with fairies, alchemy, Rosicrucianism, Sufism, Gnosticism. The book is just a study, guys. It's an incredible book. So I recommend you guys get this book. Once again, It's called The Secret Teaching of All the Ages by Manly P. Hall. Okay, get the book. Y'all be happy that y'all did. It's a book you can study over and over and over. And in the book, they have a section here on Incubus and Succubus, and they go a little deeper into what these entities are. And, they even categorize these entities as elementals, right? And these elementals are also categorized as demons. And there are negative elementals that can be on the side of demons. And demons are considered to be elementals, but not all elementals are demons, right? And not all demons are elementals. So what they're really going to be talking about here is how the Christian church just went ahead and just called everything a demon, right? Including the elementals, right? Because they didn't want you to have power, right? So let me just read this one part for you guys, right? And this is under a chapter called General Observations. And they're talking about different types of spiritual entities here. The 4 fixed signs of the zodiac were assigned to the 4 kingdoms of the elementals. The gnomes were said to be the nature of Taurus, the undies, the nature of Scorpio, the salamanders, the nature of Leo, and the sylphs manipulated and are a part of the emanations of Aquarius. The Christian church gathered all these elementals entities together under the title demon. Okay, so this is why a lot of you guys think everything is a demon. Something negative that came in your house is a demon. You saw something move in the corner, it's a demon. You see spirits in your house, they demons, because people don't really know or understand other entities, right? And this book goes into other spiritual entities that you guys can read up on and understand, right? It's a great magical book. You guys can learn more about different entities. So it's a book I've been studying for years. As a Christian, most of us have religious mindsets, and because we do, we're taught that it's the devil, it's the devil, it's the devil, and we're taught that when we have fears, we run back to God, or we blame the devil. When sometimes it ain't the devil at all, it's you, right? Sometimes we do things to ourselves, right? We do things to ourselves. A lot of times we do things to ourselves, right? So a demon, ain't really trying to move stuff around your house. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That could be a spirit. That could be the undead, the person that passed away. That could be a person that it's a ghost, right? It could be a couple things. Not a demon. A demon is trying to get your soul. Believe that. A demon is trying to get your soul, unless you have pacts and you're dealing with demons in a certain way where you're learning how to evolve, right? There's certain aspects of demonic magic where you can't evolve on the left-hand path, but it all depends on how you do it. A lot of that information is not out there. There are some books that talk about it. I have books on it. I'm not going to give those books out because I don't teach the left-hand path, right? But at the same time, a lot of these books are out there, and you guys can, study them for yourself. BroYosef, if you had to put me in a category, I would be considered a middle pather. I study everything, but I'm not on just teaching one side right now. I want to help people evolve. So whatever way you want to evolve, you do a consultation with me and you say, BroYosef, I deal with the left-hand path and I want to use the demonic energy to evolve. I can help you with that. But on this channel, I'm going to teach people how to evolve in a way that they're not afraid. Because most people are afraid of demons. BroYosef not afraid of demons. Because I used to work with demons heavy, right? I used to work with demons heavy. And BroYosef used to work with demons, but a lot of y'all not ready for that. So we talking to the babies right now. We want to help y'all grow. And we want to help y'all come to a point where y'all can start to evolve. So I just read that in here. And I want to read this next part too, right? The term incubus and succubus have been applied indiscriminately by the church fathers to the elementals, right? So once again, they're putting these entities in a category. The Christian church did, right? Which is also the Catholic Church. They put these entities into a category so that we can all just say, it's all the devil, it's all evil, right? And it's not true. Right? They're stealing knowledge from you so you don't understand what you're fighting sometimes. This is why BroYosef do these videos that people probably have heard before, but I want to do it so when you're dealing with a certain thing, you can go watch my video. I've explained it and you know what you're dealing with, okay? The term incubus and succubus have been applied In the script, okay, so I read that part. The incubus and the succubus, which are male and female entities, are parasitical creatures by nature, and they prey upon the evil thoughts and emotions of the astral body. Okay? They prey upon the evil thoughts and emotions of the astral body. That's true. That's very true. Because I've dealt with these entities very heavily. I want to read this next part too to you guys. Evil spirits obsess only those human beings in whom the animal nature is strong. Minds that are illuminated by the spirit of truth cannot be possessed. Only those who are inhabitably guided by their lower impulses may become obsessed and possessed and influenced by these entities. Okay? That's the truth. So, yes, not only can a demon possess you, but you can be possessed by an incubus and a succubus, right? And let's explain what incubus and succubus are. Incubus and succubus are parasitical entities that majority of the time they feed off of your sexual energy. So what they'll do is they'll come to a teenager. They'll come to children sometime before they're teenagers, but a lot of times they'll come to a teenager when they're 13, 14, when they hit puberty, right? And their kundalini energy starts to rise, right? They want to experience sexual things, you know. Boys start growing hair in certain places. Girls start developing. And when that starts to happen, the sexual energy is very strong in a person. So these entities can sense that, and they'll come around and they'll start molesting these children in their dreams, okay? They'll start even raping some of these children in their dreams, right? And what'll happen is they'll even try to mark these children, right? They'll have these little scratches on a person's body, on their astral body, and it manifests in the physical. And I want to talk about that in a minute. And these entities will actually come back and mark these people and let other entities know that this person belongs to me. You've been marked by a succubus. Now, some people become possessed by succubus and incubus to the point where they become one to a degree. They're controlled by this entity. They're impulsed by this entity. They're motivated by this entity. And what'll happen is they'll become prostitutes. Men will become man whores, right? They'll smash anything that moves, right? Watch out for those guys like that. They don't never wear protection. They don't care about protection. They just having sex with any and everything. Do what you do. If you want to have, for people, sex is great. Do what you do. But at the same time, you got to be careful who you're dealing with. You got to know who you're dealing with, because these people will have attachments to them. And these incubus and succubus will actually plant larvae or eggs or babies in a person, and they will grow another incubus and succubus in that person. Next thing you know, you can't stop having sex. You having sexual dreams and sexual nightmares, right? This is how the incubus and succubus work, right? So with that being said, another thing I want you guys to know is that all incubus and succubus were once in negative thought forms. So what am I really saying here? I'm saying that we actually create incubus and succubus with our negative thoughts. A negative thought form starts out as a negative thought form. It could be a negative thought form based on obesity. It could be a negative thought form based on murdering somebody. It could be a negative thought form based on you hate somebody, right? Any negative thought form you have will feed off of your negative emotions first. Then it gets tired of feeding off of those negative emotions and it wants more energy. So it will actually start to absorb sexual energy, right? It will come to you and absorb fear, right? Fear is like a drug to these entities. Fear is more of a drug. But it will actually come to you and actually have you fear in your dreams, but it'll also have sex with you in your dreams. It'll actually absorb your life force. Okay, so when entities start absorbing your life force, they're on a higher level than a negative thought form. They're not just trying to absorb your emotions, but they're trying to absorb your life force, right? So with that being said, being that these entities are trying to absorb your life force, they actually start to evolve as they gain more energy and they become an incubus and a succubus. Now they only desire more of the sexual energy, right? But the sexual energy they desire is not love making. They don't come around when you're making love. They actually come around when you just doing stuff, you just having sex, right? Animals mate, human beings have sex, and gods make love. Never forget that. Animals mate, human beings have sex, and gods make love. Some of y'all can disagree with that if y'all want. That's fine. But I'm telling y'all the truth. That's what it is. When the gods make love, the love is the most powerful force in the universe. And when the two negative and positives come together, you can actually create love. You can actually create that force for a moment, right? Whether it's through orgasm or anything else like that, you can sense that higher evolved state of love for that moment. This is why most people think they're in love, because they sensed it, they felt it, they went through something, and they feel like, okay, I can feel the love. And you only felt it for a moment, and you think you're in love with this person forever. But you're dealing with earth love. That's a whole other aspect of love. It's not true cosmic love, right? So with that being said, when you're just having sex and you're not protecting yourself, these entities will actually feed off it. If you don't do something with the sex force, if you use condoms, right, which people should do to protect themselves, but if you're using condoms or you're not doing anything with your sexual energy, these entities will, like bottom feeders, they will come around from the fourth dimension. They will suck up your life force. They will literally suck up your sexual energy. If you really with somebody and y'all serious, you should be having protection things in your room. Even if you got to sage the room before you have sex, right? You should be doing these things. You have crystal grids in your room to protect the room while you're engaging in this act. You should never have sex with mirrors in front of you, because mirrors are a reflection of the fourth dimension. So entities could really look at you through you in a mirror. So if you're going to engage in a high vibrational, energetic act like that, you should never do that in a big mirror. You should never have sex in a mirror, because the entities can actually absorb your energy a lot faster when you're doing that, and they can actually spy in and look at you straight up, real easily through a mirror. Right? The movie Poltergeist showed you that. Through the reflections of the mirrors in the water and stuff like that, dealing with the lower fourth dimension, the lower astral realms, right? So I want you guys to understand this. These negative thought forms develop into incubus and succubus. And incubus and succubus are mostly known for absorbing sexual energy, but they actually can absorb all forms of energy. They'll absorb fear, lower vibrations, emotional energy, and they can actually absorb the sex force, which they love the most. So I want to share a story with you guys of something that happened to me when I first got into my first spiritual fight ever was with an incubus, right? My first spiritual fight ever was when incubus, and it actually wasn't a succubus, it was two incubus. And this story is actually how BroYosef got on the dark side, right? I'm just gonna keep it real. It's what led me to the dark side, revenge. And I'm gonna tell y'all the story right now. So, this had to be around 2008. I'm pretty much leaving the church. I think I left the Christian church in 2009. But in 2000, this had to be 2009. I left the Christian church and I'm studying my metaphysics real heavy and reading up on stuff, doing a little bit of magic, right? I don't know a lot. And so this 2009. And, my wife used to tell me stories about how when she was a little girl, and even, after we got married, that this entity would come visit her and have sex with her. And she liked it, right? But whenever, because of sex, right? But she didn't understand what it was. So she always thought she was having a dream, right? She always thought she was dreaming. So basically, she told me this again. I said, wow, she told me, honey, when you get up and go to work in the morning, as soon as you close the door, my body goes paralyzed. And this tall man who looked like a shadow walks into the room. He gets on top of me and has sex with me. Right? And he does it every time after you leave. So I'm thinking, I'm offended, like, spirits coming in here and, doing this and doing that. So I'm like, whoa, like, no, I got to check into this. So I started reading up on some things to stop this thing, right? And what I did was I gave my wife a eye of Horus brass pendant. It was a small little pendant, eye of Horus, and I took some holy oil, right? And I taught y'all how to make holy oil in a video, how to put on a whole armor of God, right? Go in there, you can learn how to make holy oil. And I charged that oil. I learned how to make holy oil or holy water, but I use holy oil in this situation. And I rubbed some of that holy oil and imagine white light going into the pendant while I rubbed it, right? I rubbed that down with the oil and I told my wife to wear it every night before she go to bed. Every night she wore that thing, and she pretty much never had a problem with NT again, right? But I would say about a week after she started to wear it, She had no more issues with this thing coming to her in the morning when I would leave and go to work. It just stopped, right? And I also threw some salt in the corners, right? I'm doing basic stuff because I was new at the time, right? But the salt in the corners helped. I'm just stopping everywhere I can. If the spiritual I should sage the house. But the thing that stopped her, that protected her when she went into the dream world, was that pendant I gave her. So, long story short, with that being said, about a week after that happened, I had a dream in the astral world, right? And at this time, I was lucid dreaming, right? I was having lucid dreams. So, I'm sitting in. Me and my wife had a small 1 bedroom apartment at the time. We was young. I've been with her since she was 18. So, I think I was 20 years old when I was 20, she was 18. So we was real young. And, when we got together. So, we started out, like any other basic couple. We had a basic 1 bedroom, small apartment. And, I'll never forget I was sitting in this apartment and all of a sudden I heard a knock at my door, right? And I'm sitting in an apartment in the spirit world, in the astral plane, watching a Jodeci concert, right? And the song that they were singing, I've never heard this song ever, this Jodeci song ever. The song was dope. It was fire. I actually have it written down what they were saying in one of my dream books. But it was a Jodeci song I've never heard in my life to this day. And I know all the Jodeci music, right? I'm an 80s baby. And I was just looking at it and like, man, this is a dope Jodeci song, right? And I hear a knock on the door, bam, 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 bam. So I go to the door and it's this white guy. And he's looking at me. He's wet. It's like raining outside. He's wet. He's like, "Excuse me, sir. Can I use the phone? My car broke down outside." So I'm a very paranoid person naturally. So I looked at him like, "Yo, bro, why you ain't just go to another? I'm all the way up on the 3rd floor. Why you ain't ask somebody else?" "Oh, I didn't think about it." So for some reason, I let this dude in and use the phone. Right? I let him in use the phone. So he picked on the phone. I'm watching him. And when I'm watching him, another knock on my door. Bam, 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 bam. So I go to the door and it's a black dude. Right? It's a so-called black dude at the door who looks identical to this dude in my kitchen. I mean, they look just alike, but he's black and he's white. It was so weird. I'm like, "Yo, bro." I look back. I'm like, "Yo, are y'all twins? Like, what's going on with this?" He's like, "Oh man, can I use your phone?" I said, "Well, I'm letting somebody else use the phone right now." So, I was trying to figure out what's going on. I'm looking back, and when I turn my head to look at the black dude's smile goes up like a clown, and you can see like all these like sharp teeth. Like he looked like a monster, right? So I'm like, "Whoa!" So I black people, our natural reflex, we punch. So I hit him. Wow, I hit him. He stumbled back, and I look in the kitchen, and the dude standing there with the phone. And he's smiling with the same smile with the teeth and everything. Now my wife's in a room. She's getting ready for, she was like doing her hair or something in a room. So she don't even realize I'm out here dealing with these dudes. So I'm looking at that dude. I'm like, "Yo, you want to have to get it. You about to get it too, homie. Like you gotta go." So all of a sudden the black dude gets back up and he pushes his hand out and without even touching me, and I fly back to the wall to the point where I made like a dent in the wall in my apartment. Then these dudes basically froze my body somehow in the astral world, and they told me that they were angry at me for stopping the connection with my wife, and I was blown away like, "Oh my God, that shit actually worked." So they said she belongs to me. This is what they were telling me. She belongs to me. And they both were talking at the same time. So I'm like, wow, this is interesting. So like, yeah, she belongs to me. She's mine. I've been with her since she was a kid. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm blown away. Like these entities are really, has been connected to my wife this long. And my wife would literally wake up with X's like on her, down the middle of her back, like X's. Like somebody scratched her. Like little scratches with X's and check marks and symbols and stuff on her. Some of y'all waking up like that. Some of y'all wake up with bruises and not bruises, but some of y'all wake up with scratches and marks on y'all, right? And what that is sometimes it could be entity marking you. It could be marking your astral body and it's manifesting into the physical, right? So I knew now I'm thinking, okay, the mark she had was definitely this entity saying like she belongs to me. So boom, I stopped all that, right? And they was mad about that. So then they froze me. They made me walk in a room. I couldn't even control my body. They was controlling my body. I walked into the room and the entities made me watch them have sex with my wife. Right? So I'm yelling and screaming, yo, yo, I'm trying to wake up. And I finally woke up. And as I woke up, I heard in my ear laughing. Like, so I woke up, I said, yo, I told my wife, I said, yo, did you have another dream with this entity? She's like, no, I'm fine. So I knew they coming at me, right? And I knew they wasn't gonna stop doing this stuff in my dreams. Man, why did they do that? When they did that, this is actually one of the things that really made me a good magician. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I don't brag, I don't boast, I don't talk about fighting in the spiritual world. I could, but I gotta share this experience with y'all, right? Because like Sister Mook said, it's war out here in these astral streets, and she's not lying. It's the real deal. You can get yourself in a situation just by trying to protect your family. Sometimes y'all don't know it, but I fight entities for some of y'all just by doing consultations and telling y'all the right information. The entities don't like me, and they come at me. I'm just gonna keep it real, right? So this is what's happening. So boom. Why did they do that? You know, I'm not, what I'm about to tell y'all is the truth. I actually started studying and practicing magic like I've never done before. I used to be listening to the Eye of the Tiger. You know what I'm saying? It's the Eye of the Tiger. I used to listen to that while I'm practicing my mudra and doing all my spiritual. I used to be building up my energy, doing mudra, right? I used to be doing my magical work, learning how to use wands, learning how to project my chi energy, right? I was learning how to project my chi energy, and I did this shit for a year and a half before I got back at these entities. And I called them back to me, and I'm gonna tell y'all how I called them back to me, and I got their ass. I sent their ass back to the first dimension. That's a fact. And this book, to a degree, explains that. If y'all read this book and get into it, it explains sending energy back, demonic energies and stuff like that. But it's a whole setup with that. So BroYosef, because this thing motivated me, right? Sometimes if you want to be good at magic or something, sometimes you need a motivation. This thing motivated me. I wanted revenge. I'm a Scorpio, right? We got to sting you, right? And I was so angry about this that they did this. Like, who do y'all think I am? So this drove me to the dark side. I'm gonna keep it real. I start using and working with demonic energies to help me in the astral plane. I started to create my own magical entities. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, BroYosef got a whole army of astral entities to the point where when I'm in the spirit world, sometimes I could be walking through any kind of astral state and entities will come up to me 12, 13 feet tall and bow down to me. And they'll call me father. I've had that happen multiple times. And because I created these entities, I literally created these entities to do specific things. I created entities to attack people. I created entities to shield me. If somebody attacks me spiritually, these entities come and shield me, right? And they take the hit for me. I created a whole group of astral army to fight for me spiritually if I got to fight other entities. So I was literally creating a whole gang around me to get back at these entities, right? And I did. And what I did was I told my wife, and she didn't even know. I set her up too. And I told her, stop wearing the necklace and stop doing the things I've been telling you to do for like a couple days. I want to see. And sure enough, I would say about 2 weeks later, it took about 2 weeks, but 2 weeks later, she told me, so yeah, the thing came back. I said, cool. BroYosef did some things. I let the entity know that I recognized it. And I'm not going to get too deep in it, but I got rid of that entity. Send his ass back to the first dimension. And that, to a degree, caused the issue with me with a lot of Incubus and Succubus because of what I did, to the point where they was trying to cut my, what you call a silver cord. For those who know about the astral plane, if you cut somebody's silver cord, you basically kill them, they're dead. And these entities were actually trying to cut my silver cord, right? Because I learned how to destroy them. I learned how to send them back. And they basically was trying to cut my silver cord, so I couldn't come back to Earth. And this is a true story I'm telling y'all, man. This is something that really happened to me earlier in my spirituality, and it could have went the wrong way. I could have got seriously injured, but I didn't have a choice. You're not going to just disrespect me and hurt me and make me watch something that traumatic and think that BroYosef ain't, I'm a planner in my mind, and all I did was plan for a year and a half until I got back at these entities, right? So that's my story with Incubus and Succubus, right? Or see with Incubus, which is the male version, and Succubus is the female. And there was a TV show I think called Incubus. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So, what are some signs that you're being approached or attacked by an incubus? Well, one of the things is when you freeze, when your body goes paralyzed, there's usually an entity standing in your room, or it's an entity on top of you. Some people call it the witch riding you, right? That's probably most. It's 9 times out of 10 that's an incubus or a succubus trying to drain your energy. Um, you're always having sex dreams. If you're always having a sex dream, these are incubus and succubus coming after you. Incubus and succubus in their true form, they look like zombie insects in their true form. Their true form would totally, you'll be disgusted by it, right? Um, Marks on your body is also another sign that incubus and succubus are trying to come at you, right? That's another sign. So I want you guys to pay attention to these signs, and I want you guys to protect yourself. Get the holy oil, right? Go watch the video, how to put on the whole armor of God. Get the holy oil and rub it on the middle of your forehead before you go to bed, right? Rub it on the middle of your forehead before you go to bed. Take some sea salt and put it in the four corners of your room and protect yourself. Sage don't fix everything. Start to sleep with the 72-letter name of God under your pillow. Learn how to take energies and things into the astral world with you by holding a thought in your mind as you go to sleep. You can actually take your amulets with you. You can take things with you in the astral world, okay? So I wanted to get on this video today and help you guys understand what incubus and succubus are, right? I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, right? And I want you guys to understand that these things are real. And you need to protect yourself from these things because these things will drain your energy dry if you let them, right? So that's what incubus and succubus are. And I wanted to get on here and do this video, help you guys understand these things. For the beginners, this is a 101. You guys now know what incubus and succubus are and what they do and how they operate, okay? So remember to get the book. Remember to get the book, The Secret Teaching of All the Ages. And until next time, I'll holler at you guys next time, all right? Peace.